during the game when this became real for you and the realization that, yeah, this was the start of a new era, but also you guys were dealing with everything you had dealt with the last few months?
Well, it was refreshing, honestly, to get to football. And, it was, for me, it was a learning experience. I really felt good about our players, and I felt good about our coaching staff, but I wanted to see us put it together. And I wanted to see how we reacted as a team, and I was very pleased tonight. There's certainly a lot of things that we can work on and improve on, but I just like the cohesiveness of our team and how hard we played, and I've got a good feeling about these guys after the game. That's what I was wondering going in.
Jerry Hill, Baylor Bears Insider. Jim, you saw it in camp over here this side. You saw it in camp, but the way the defense played that first half, the way they were flying around, I think held them to -4 yards the first half. Did you see that they were capable of that?
Yeah, I did, Jerry, absolutely. The thing that expanded my comfort zone was Phil Bennett. I know Phil felt really good about our defensive front. I know we lost some good players and some bigger guys, but Phil felt good about it. Chris Acuff felt really good about it. And, I'm a kind of slant and angle guy background-wise, and when I watched our guys move around and, stunt and get lateral and all the different things that we were doing with those guys, I thought, we worry about depth, but I really felt like we were getting to where we had too deep of guys that could move their feet and run and make plays. So we got to get better. I don't think there's any question about that, but I think one of the keys for us tonight was, I think, our defensive line. We feel like those guys up front played pretty good.
Jim, Pat 40 from Yahoo Sports. What's the process been like in an accelerated timetable of taking a staff you didn't hire and guys you didn't recruit and integrating with them?
Well, Pat, I think, first and foremost, it took us some time just to get to know each other. For me, it was tough because about the time that I started recognizing all the faces, we put helmets on. And then about the time I started recognizing numbers, we put different numbers on the scout team kids. So that made it tough. But I do think that, when I first got here, I thought there was a lot of doubt. The kids were in shock, coaches too. And I got here in a hurry. And so it took us a while just to get to know each other. But I think after a while, kids started feeling comfortable that I was just here to help. And, I started feeling more like a coach after a while because I got to know the players better and had a sense for their abilities. And more importantly, I got to know our coaching staff. And I've just been really, really impressed. I've learned a lot, and not only from the coaches, but from the players. And I feel like we're in a good spot right now. I think the coaches have done a great job with the kids, and I think the kids are on a high right now, getting ready to play football again. And tonight was huge for our guys.
Thanks, Jerry. Waco Trip. Jim, you mentioned that it was refreshing to get back to football, especially for the players. How much did you sense that they needed this, a game to play against someone other than green uniforms?
Yeah, no question. I thought this was important to get to first game, get to game night. But what I sensed was when we first started practice, there was a great sense of energy, and you could just tell the kids were having fun being back together and practicing again. But after a couple of weeks, practice gets old. And I don't think we could have improved any more by practicing. And I thought our coaches did a good job keeping the guys healthy. But I think more than anything else, it's just a different feel, so impressed coming out with the guys tonight and seeing the student section, seeing the way the students turned out for our guys tonight was really, really rewarding to me. And seeing the fans come and support our guys, I can't imagine that our players don't feel really, really good right now about the crowd tonight.
Coach Bill Bender, so how much fun was it for you tonight? I mean, with this kind of team, based on your past stops, you probably haven't had this much talent on a football team. So how much fun was it for you once you guys got rolling in the first half?
Well, honestly, Bill, it was great. For me, it's fun being back on the sidelines again. It's fun working with players and coaches. But more than anything else for me tonight, I could just tell that our guys were having fun. And it was just exciting to watch. And for me personally, I love being back on the sideline. I love coaching. But I think more than anything else, it was a treat for me to watch our guys fly around and have fun.
Coach Max Olson, ESPN. Kendall Briles had Art's initials written on his hand for this game. How has you seen him handle this transition, and is a tribute like that something you're okay with?
Yeah, Kendall's special, KB special, and I just to think about him losing Art as his head coach and as his dad. It had to be tougher on KB than anybody, and he's been nothing but class. He's been a true gentleman the whole time, and he's on fire to coach these guys. And so I have no problems with that whatsoever. If you don't love your dad, something's wrong, and I don't have any problems with that at all. I think he's got a little pressure on him because Art's not a bad football coach, and so the son, whether he can get this thing going like they had it going, and I think tonight was a great start.
John Warner, Waco Trip. Jim, you meant you'd emphasize special teams, the last 4 weeks. But what did you think tonight?
Really impressed. I felt bad for Drew kicking off because I thought he hit 2 great kickoffs that ended up out of bounds. I thought the one stayed inside the pylon, but we don't really have a good end zone shot of that, so that's hard to. But from my vantage point, and I'm wrong a lot, but from my vantage point, it was in. And then the other one hit right, just around the 1 yard line, went dead left. I don't know how that happened. I was sure it was going to hit and go in the end zone, and they weren't going to return it. But I thought he hit the ball great every time kicking off, and he punted the ball with a little bit of pressure pretty good. We got some good hang time on our punts. The thing I liked about a couple of balls that he kicked, we had such good hang time, we had great coverage. And that's something that going forward will really be good for us. If we don't get it in the end zone, the hang time that we get with Drew, both on his punts and on his kicks, I think will be really good. And I thought Chris Callahan seemed really comfortable kicking the ball. Our snaps and our sets were good. I do think that we've got some things to work on in our coverage and our return game, but they had a return for a kickoff. Thought Tony Nicholson did, or the return punt for touchdown. It got called back with a holding, but another really good return by Tony Nicholson. And so I thought Tony did a nice job.